Hello and welcome to module number 6 for EDCI 5700 for the spring 2026 semester. And I'm already sharing my screen and already in the module number 6. So the photo I'm sharing, I took this over a decade ago, back in March of 2013, early March, looking eastwards toward the Tetons, Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. And I took this photo near Rexburg out in eastern Idaho. So we'll go through the activities. You're watching the video, and it will be updated. And then the readings will be chapters 10 and 11 from Creswell and Guterman's educational research. Let's see here. We'll get this up. And this goes into more details for quantitative research. Um, some guiding questions. What is the difference between causation and correlation? And one thing that I always caution doc students, grad students who are going to do research, or correlation doesn't necessarily mean causation. Um, the next question to consider in research, which is superior, causation or correlation? What is necessary to determine each? Do we sometimes infer causation when only a correlation? And that's getting back to causation or correlation does not mean causation. When only correlation is determined by a study. And this is a lot of popular news outlets like to do this regularly. So those are the questions to consider. Then we've got the PowerPoints, the supplemental PowerPoints. And then on chapter 10, we'll go through the learning objectives. The first one from Creswell and Guterman is define an experimental research and describe when to use it and how it developed. Um, Number 2 is identify the key characteristics of experiments, state the types of experimental designs, recognize the potential ethical issues in experimental research. And from the last module, I brought up about the ethical issues when it comes to doing research on minors. The fifth learning objective is describe the steps in conducting an experiment. And then the last one, evaluate the quality of an experiment. So that is from chapter 10 on experimental designs. Then chapter 11 on correlational designs. And the first learning objective is define correlation research and describe when to use it and how it is developed. Number 2, identify the two types of correlational designs. Describe the key characteristics of correlational designs. Identify potential ethical issues in conducting correlational research. Identify steps in conducting a correlational study and list the criteria for evaluating a correlational study. So, chapters 10 and 11 from Creswell and Guterman for Module 6. And then I've got PowerPoint, the first one from the Khan Academy on Introduction to Experiment Design. Then the next one is on correlation designs. Then have you post your module reflection. And just as a friendly reminder, please remember to get the full 15 points, you will have to post your reflection and then respond to 2 others. And what I post is fair game for you to respond to. Then the quiz. And the suggested completion is March 8th, and we are getting close to when the U of I spring break is. We're also close to the midterm. So please look back at your grades, at your points. Make sure that you have received points for all the assignments, the points that you've earned. If there's any issues, do not hesitate to let me know. And if there's an issue, I'll go in and we'll get that fixed. But please check it around March the 8th. Um, your um, your peer review of the qualitative paper is due back to your partner, and then the final draft will be due on March 15th. And that concludes the introduction and instruction for module number 6. I will talk to you later.